Hello. Hello.
Yay.
Hello. We have Tara with us again today. Erica's still
And I'm
working.
waving. I'm waving at the computer like an idiot. You can't see me.
You can see her digital wave somehow. We've been getting, though, a lot of questions and comments in the chat window. So Tara and I have been going back and forth. But first, the all-important, what kind of tea
Mute.
are we drinking? Tara, what kind of tea are you drinking currently?
Oh, I am enjoying a lovely glass of House Blend Black Tea by Plum Deluxe, a simple, comforting, yet bold and assertive tea to celebrate all of life's moments. Organic black tea, Ceylon tea, black tea, safflower, blue, mauve. I've been, worn the label off. You know what I mean? Blue mauve flowers, vanilla essence, love, gratitude, has caffeine. See, 1 tablespoon boiling water, 3 to 5 minutes. It is delicious. I love that the vanilla note isn't like a sledgehammer. It's more of like eyelash kisses. It's delicious. I take mine with sugar and cream.
Little butterfly kisses of vanilla.
It is. It really is.
I kind of like that. I'm having a fairly moderated, I don't know, Care tea, Carete, because I finished off all my Plum Deluxe. I went right through that. But this is called, instead of Earl Grey, it's called Early Grey. And the outside of the box said something about, it's like, I should have brought the box up with me. It's like sitting down in the late afternoon and sharing wit and witticisms with good friends, or the best people you know, or the kind of people who do wit and witticism stuff with you, kind of stuff. But it's a mild Earl Grey. I am a fan of bergamot, so it's not as bergamotish as I'd be good with, but that's okay too.
If you're looking for something with not as much bergamot, Lady Earl Grey by Twinings is delicious. Oh, yeah. It's my favorite. And
no, that's where I learned about Earl Grey, was that class on Twinings tea. It was great. Bergamot.
Also, I discovered through one of my friends, Roland, she has the Tivana tea diffuser where it looks like a little capsule, like space capsule. Right. And I put some of, it was last month's second tea in the 2 tea month club from Plum Deluxe, whatever it was, Mindful Morning. And I had done it in the little stir spoons before, and I put it in that thing, and it totally opened up a whole bunch of new flavors in that Mindful Morning's bergamot.
And that's a good thing to know.
I was like, okay, I'm getting the orange, I'm getting the bergamot, I'm getting the Earl. It's one of those, they're all there. And then I put it in, it was a giant, 20-ounce cup. And it was that whole, probably about a teaspoon and a half. Yeah, a teaspoon and a half in the bottom of that Tivana capsule. And whenever I popped it open, it had expanded almost 3 times its size.
Can you send me a link to the Tivana
Of course I will.
Thingy, whatever, and I'll put it in the show notes for this week.
It's on Amazon too. It's on Amazon for $12, if I think.
And AT is drinking a Dark Night Orange Spice. Orange Spice what?
Peru. Orange Spice Peru.
I can't read that.
P-U-E-R.
I think that might be a typo, or it's not, and that's a word that I've never come across before. But yes, I know the AT. I'm sorry that you had to drink the throat coat. It's effective and all that, but I am not a fan of Slippery Elm. I'll bergamot all day long before I'll Slippery Elm.
Oh, here it is. It's
really? Okay, then it's a Dark Night's Orange Spice. Puerh. Pure.
Prayer. This is where I use my really bad French accent, because je comprends very little français.
Yeah, no. Non.
Bonjour, je parle français,
Non.
j'ai étudié le
Nine.
français pour
Yeah.
la douce.
Oh my God. AT looked it up. God bless you. It is a variety of fermented tea produced in the Yunnan province of China and named after Pur. She said, like she could speak Mandarin. City. Oh, I hope that's a Mandarin province instead of a Cantonese province. That would be really, really embarrassing to screw up two different parts of China.
Awkward.
Language. Yeah, that's a meme. It's that awkward moment when, and
Yeah.
I am the poster child for the awkward moment when, I think.
Okay.
But
Found that thingy.
the tea thing is good to know. I'm very excited about the diffuser because I have the spoon thing, but I also have a bigger one, and now I know that I should probably be using the bigger one.
It's the Perfect Tea Ball by Tivana. It is $12.95 on Amazon and Prime eligible. The key to a perfect cup of tea, simply add your favorite tea and twist the top on. Made of stainless steel for durability, this tea ball features many tiny holes to keep even the smallest teas out of your cup while allowing the flavor to drift out.
I so think you need to start doing advertisements for FedEx.
I tell you what, I worked as a waitress. I could sell day old pie to bikers.
You go, girl. That's a job I could never, ever hold down. And hello, Toshi.
Toshi, how are you, lovey?
We got her for the morning. Well, for a little bit this morning on her way. Are you on the bus again?
Oh boy.
I find that just spectacular that you bus with us. That is fun. We have a bunch of stuff today. Actually, we have pictures. We have pictures from you guys because we now have the Facebook Craft Literati group. So if you're on Facebook, go search for Craft Literati. It's spelled probably the way you think. Craft Literati. So there's two T's, just like the literati would have two T's. And then one T and one I at the end. You know what? I can also add a link to the YouTube screen so that you can just click on it when you're watching this part. So, all right. So,
okay, before we get too far into that, I posted more photos.
Oh, good. Okay.
Should have popped up on the main discussion page, maybe. Oh, AT posted a.
I just saw that.
A Death Star with bow tie fighter diffuser ball.
Hilarious.
Well, who is calling me?
Well,
oh my goodness, this is my friend Olivia. Just a second. Hey, Olivia. I'm in the middle of a live stream. Can I call you back later?
Kathy's joining us. Yay! Okay,
I love you. I'll call you back.
This is so much fun.
Bye. And that was my other gal pal.
That's hilarious. It's like, sorry, I'm in a live stream right now. That's just not something that people have been able to say for the last 20 years of.
Oh, I know. And she so very rarely calls me too. So it's one of those, oh no, I love you. I will call you back. Okay. Yes. My picture's posted in the Craft Literati page.
All right.
Excellent.
And we're going to start with AT's. AT just posted this, and I think I now have my favorite tea diffuser.
Oh, let me also post a link to the tea diffuser too.
She said her neighbors gave her the Death Star for her birthday, and I think that is awesome.
I think I now need to crochet her a giant Death Star pillow. Have you seen that? Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen this.
Oh, I will go snipe pictures from my Instagram. And or I will snipe them from my Facebook page. But that diffuser is hilarious. It is a huge pillow. It's the size of a medium-sized watermelon.
Oh, wow.
I gave it to my friend, requested it for one of her friends because he is a huge Star Wars nerddom member. And I saw it and I'm like, I must make one of these for my tiny man-child.
Yes.
Because he loves Star Wars.
Well, all the best people do. See, but I'm not one of the anti because other. I'm not like Star Wars versus Star Trek. I love everyone. I love everything. And speaking of that, Vicky had posted a question about my episode 441 intro, talking about Meg and my conversation about the different ways that we were seeing the same event covered from very, very different perspectives. Vicky, people have been posting comments at craftlit.com/41. However, if you are, I don't know, worried that your comment might be, misconstrued, or maybe not something that you just want to put out on the interweb or anything, you can messenger me on Facebook, which is easy enough. And if not that, go on the Craft Literati group, because I'm sure that everybody who's here in the window with you would be more than happy to see what you have to say. I'll tell you, though, there was an interesting thing on CNN this morning, and I tweeted to Allison Camerata to thank her, because she went to Ohio and sat down with 3 Trump supporters who are still happy with the way things are going, and 3 non-supporters who are scared about the way things are going. And she mediated a conversation that was an actual conversation. And the thing that made it so interesting was the first guy, who was a Trump supporter, spoke, I thought, really eloquently about being a Christian, and about the things that he was afraid of, and the things that he worried about were coming from that perspective, and that these are the reasons why he had voted for Trump instead of for Hillary. And he made his case, and they went down the line, and it ended with a woman who was very school choice, and that was what her whole thing hinged on. So they had very specific issues that they had been focusing on and listening to during the run-up in the campaign. And then the first non-Trump supporter who spoke was a woman who was a minister.
Oh, wow.
And was able to turn around and say, I'm Christian too, obviously. And I see what you're saying from a different angle. And here's the way I'm perceiving it. And they listened to each other. And it kept going down the line, that everybody, the comments that were going back and forth, and of course it's CNN, so it's only like a 6-minute segment. I really hope they publish a longer version of it online, because the thing that started to happen was the same thing that had happened with me and with Meg, is starting to go, well, wait a minute, but what if we all want the same thing? We all want the world to be a better, safer, happier place for our children. If that's true, then why are you supporting someone who's doing this? Or why aren't you supporting someone who was doing that? And it started to become really clear that it was not a problem with what they wanted, or even how they wanted it. It was a problem with the way the facts either were or weren't being communicated.
Right.
And it was extraordinary. And it's what I keep saying. It's like, if people just sit down and talk instead of yelling at each, because who wants to get yelled at?
Yeah. You, me, and the guy down the road who doesn't believe anything.
Right. There's no point. Well, and not only that, but I can see why, if you're right now, if you were a Trump supporter, I think I would be feeling pretty attacked. And if all I'd been watching was Fox News for 5 years, I would be really baffled, because it would look like the rest of the world had lost its mind. And what? So you want us to be? Well, yeah, but so you want 9/11 to happen again? Is that what you're saying? Because that's what it sounds like. I would be completely baffled,
terrified as well.
Yeah, and very, very, very afraid. And that's not a good place for any of us to be. And I think everybody's afraid of stuff now, but not when you sit down and get a chance to talk to people. It was extraordinary. So Meg and I are still working on how to do this blog, but we will be taking, one of the decisions I've made is we'll be taking submissions from other people who have two sides, someone who can speak to the other side from them on any particular issue. So whether it's, school choice or just general, the way news is presented, I think the the not 1960s, the 60 Minutes Point Counterpoint, the old thing from the 70s where the two
Right.
speakers spoke on the two political conversations that could be had over one topic. It's going to be focused much more like that, with some very explicit notes saying that comments that are troll-like are going to be removed.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a place for conversation. It's not a place for yelling and trolling. So all we have to do is buy the domain.
Erica
started
the conversation topic on Craft Literati. She posted, she was catching up on it.
Good. So Vicky could go there and post. Oh, and Toshi. Oh, a friend passed away. I'm so sorry.
She posted right after the live stream finished that she was happy to be able to spend some time giggling with us because she was in a really down place. And I wish she had said something during the live stream. We could have consulted her better. Sit the 2 minutes of Shiva with her.
Seriously.
AT keeps posting hilarious tea diffusers.
Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna go get the next ones. And
there's
I'm so sorry, Toshi. That just bites.
It's a Nessie tea diffuser. The Nessie body sits in the cup and her little head peeks out.
Oh, excellent. All right. Oh, and I went the wrong direction. Hang on.
I found the Death Star pillow. Share on Craft Literati. Here. Oops.
Everybody can see my everything. Why isn't it in here?
Shame, Heather. Let's see. Where are you looking at? Scroll down past the alpaca shell. Beautiful job, Toshi. Looks amazing.
It's gorgeous.
And then it'll be in the comment section of the Death Star.
This is why I couldn't get it before. Now we get the big picture. Okay, that is hysterical.
There's also a soup ladle out there that is a Nessie as well. That stands up in your soup pot.
That is spectacular. And yes, Toshi, I agree that the media commercialism of fear not only wants us to be yelling at each other, but we sell more papers or more TV advertising if we do that. And so that's, in fact, yesterday on the First Amendment live stream we had our First Amendment lawyer, and my father-in-law and I were talking to him. I found the end by the end, that conversation to be a very hopeful one. For one thing, because it was great to talk to somebody who actually understands the law and why things go the way they do, which made me feel a lot better about things like Citizens United. But the other thing that I thought was really interesting was when I said to him something about the yelling and how can we speak to the media decision makers to get them to move away from the yelling and more towards the conversating. And he said, well, that would have to do with talking to us, because we're the consumers and they give us what we want. So if we continue to respond to those things, then that's what they'll give us more of. And I thought, well then I'm going to tweet to Allison Camerata and thank her for the conversation this morning and put my time where my mouth is. That is gorgeous.
Seeing Toshi's post, I saw in the comment section of the chat thing, her friend Hashani needs our prayers. Hashani being Hafiz? Is it Hafiz? Like Hafiz or Hafiz? I want to say Hafiz, but that's probably not right.
Hafiz.
Hafiz?
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Some people truly want to get in times going by supporting things that lead to conflict and war. Yes, Toshi, a lot of people do. But we just can't do that. It doesn't end well, ever. But you know what does end well? Crafting. Well, for the most part, ends well.
I know.
We all end up in a better place.
We stitch the world back together again. Like with socks.
Yes. Oh, my socks.
Your socks.
These socks are part of the year-long Harry Potter Cal being hosted by Katie, Miss Lavelia, on Ravelry and Instagram, and she is cuter than 2 buttons on a wool coat, I'll tell you what. And she's hosting a Harry Potter. Cal, any way you can link your project to Harry Potter is totally game. And these socks in particular are my Cupid crystal socks. They remind me of the box of spiked chocolates in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince that Ron eats, that Romilda Vane had spiked with a love potion for Harry.
Right.
And I was like, they look like a box of chocolates.
Yes.
Who ate the box of chocolates in the movie? Was it Ron? It was hilarious. And these are perfect.
These are the box of chocolate colored socks.
Mm-hmm. Those are the box of chocolate colored socks, and they're called Cupid crystals. And that picture is from inside the rental car that I am much too long for.
Oh dear. Sorry about that. Those colors on those socks remind me 100% of the macarons that are in Paris. They're not macaroons, but they're little lightweight cookies that have flavoring. It could be jelly, there's lots of different cream filling or anything, and it's so good. They're meringue cookies, and the colors are not always. Sometimes they do more bright, day glowy kind of things, but those are the colors. Those are yummy colors.
Macaron.
They are so yummy. And
delicious.
that, I like that. And then
this is my Ravenclaw's Lost Diadem shawl. It's the Summer Fly shawl on Ravelry, and I'm knitting it out of cobweb weight.
Are you on triple aughts? What are you doing this on?
It's actually on size 4s.
What?
And it's so airy and so pretty. And I picked it because it's blues and browns, true Ravenclaw colors. I am a Ravenclaw. Without measure, snicker. And I at this point I've gone through section 5, and I went to do the open lace work, and I didn't like how difficult it was because it has you do, is it a pay for it or free pattern? I can't remember. It has you knit a couple stitches and then pull the first stitch you knit over the rest of the stitches you knit and drop it. And I was having trouble lifting and dropping that stitch over the other one. So I was like, okay, forget it. I'm going to do some stockinette and then some more of the open lace there between the 2 eyelet ridges. Those are butterflies. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rock some more butterflies, and we're gonna go from there. So,
I think that was very wise.
I like how it's coming out, and I only knit on this on Wednesday nights while the husband goes and plays D&D, and me and the kiddos hit a park. There's a really great park near us. It's huge. Go and we hit a park.
Well, we have some good news from AT that her sister's tumor has shrunk by 50%. And
excellent.
That is excellent news. She's halfway through the chemo. So, yeah, that's what we want to hear.
Hey.
And Vicky, I know the macaroon and macaron. I didn't know there was a difference. And so I learned. I love it when that happens. All right, here's the next picture. Craft literati photo-ness.
I have been hounding the tiny major to clean his room for and boots and pans of months, and he just wouldn't do it. And I was like, okay, dude, either you clean it or I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to cull your toys while I'm doing it. Well, Saturday the cull happened, and he had a tension rod across like the middle of the window in the window casing to keep a curtain piece of fabric up, and I'd finally had enough. And every mom out there with kids who you buy this sheet set for, where it's got the fitted, the flat, and then a pillowcase, and then a sham, and then the comforter. Yeah. I have like 8 flat sheets in my closet that my kids don't use. Now I have 7 because that is a flat sheet.
Best use of sheet award goes to Swagger.
Yep.
Nice. A little worse to wait.
I did the dumb thing. I zip tied because what I do is we had blinds, but kids rip down blinds habitually. because they can't see through them, and they're hard to pull aside because they smack you back in the face. So my kids rip them down.
Right.
Gone through 8 sets of blinds in this house. They only have access to 3 of the blinds in their rooms, and I've gone through 8 sets. It's ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, I'm tired of pulling tension rods and finding the ends, and so those A standard elongated L end curtain rods you find, where you have to like screw the metal bracket, but the bracket bends and breaks. Dude, if you leave the blinds boxes up, you can stick the curtain rod up and run a zip tie through the top.
Oh my
and
God.
Zip tie the curtain rod to the blinds box to keep the curtain up.
That works. That works really, really well. I'm going to go do that this afternoon.
A better picture of the color of the socks. I was showing my friend Isis. She's like
Husseini and Hafiz. Toshi did it phonetically for us.
Thank you.
Yay. And God, that yarn is gorgeous.
Isn't it though?
It's so
you want to
pretty.
just numb it.
Is it a silk? Did you say it was a silk blend?
No. It's Patton's Croy.
No.
Patton's Croy 4-ply.
Baby. That's fantastic.
I bought it 2 years ago at a Hobby Lobby. Okay, AT, what good news did you get?
Yes.
What advice do you need, my dear?
We got an interesting little chat window text from AT, a provocative one.
Indeed.
All right. And while we're waiting for that to pop up, we do have a creature that is being shared on the screen from Sarah.
Aren't they adorable? It's Call and Mari by No Knit Sherlock, Susan Claudino, and this is a close-up of the eye. Everyone is freaking out about the eyes on these little animals. It's a small black button with a clear glitter button behind it. And it adds so much whimsy to this little creature's eye. But it's they're squids, and they were the Valentine's Day gifts for my kiddos. I finished them while we were doing the CraftLit talk last week, and they have played with them for 2 weeks, and they're starting to develop pills. So I have to kidnap them and depill them at some point tonight.
So is the top button a shank button and the bottom button a 2 or 4 hole flat button?
The top button's a 4-hole flat button, and the bottom button's a 2-hole flat button. Oh,
now I can see. I thought that the blue on the top was actually a sparkle on the domed top, because my screen light has to be turned down so far to be able to do the live stream, but now I can see it. If
you look off to the right, you can see the other eye. You can see the flat button, and that bulge behind it is blue thread to make them stick off a little bit.
So
AT's nephew and his wife, they're having a new baby.
All
of the nitty aunties are losing their minds.
I was just going to say, and so the question would be, or the advice needed,
what to make, baby?
What to make for the baby?
Rebecca Danger's Knit Nursery, all of the things. Yeah, you can see here in this picture the sun's octopus, or the sun's little squid. You can see all the little tufts of fluff coming off of it.
I love.
Yes, I know another boy who's losing his mind. And it's one of those, I may have, did I drop the ball on that? I hope I didn't. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Yes. I'm like, well, did you want one? He's, yes, I want one. I'm like, oh, okay. Shoot. Let me talk to your mother.
Yeah.
AT said she'd like to knit another blanket, but with a different yarn than the one I just posted. Where did she post it?
That's what I'm going back to right now. I'm going back to redo. It's I think it is this.
Ooh,
there's so many things that I have to click through to get to the stupid screen share. AT, I hope this is the
hard-wearing, machine washable, available in 8 gorgeous multicolored hues.
Bulkier, loftier, lighter weight is what is desired. Do you remember what this particular? Well, yes, of course, because you had to look it up. So we'll wait. Bulkier, loftier, and I'm assuming AT that you need a washable, machine washable.
I would go machine washable if it's
because
got
that's
baby
if
involved.
it's got a baby involved. Um, there's some Lion Brand stuff that I saw not too long ago. That's
Lion
but
Brand
it's a
had
lot
this.
bulkier.
Lion Brand had this one stuff. It was like an 18 or 20 ply cotton, and they only put it out for a short time about 2 years ago. And I lost my mind and bought every scan I can get my hands on.
I have glow in the dark yarn.
Shut the front door.
Hang on.
Have you seen the blacklight reactive stuff out there?
What? No.
There was a gal at Fiber in the Burrow last year. Oh, Pumpernickel? Who was she? I'm never gonna remember it now. Anyway, she was totally rad, yo.
What is she now?
And it was, she had some hand spun where it was, Bernat, go figure.
That's what I'm saying.
That's amazing. And he
This
got
is
it
the
on sale.
glow. Oh, totally got it on sale because I think it's gone out of I think it's out of existence. But this is the glow in the dark yarn. And I've showed you, I don't know where he put it. Aiden's little green Cthulhu.
Mhm.
It glows in the dark. So I had blue and yellow and pink and green.
How adorable.
But I will say, if you can find this, I mean, the glow in the dark thing is actually kind of cool for a baby blanket because
you can find it in the dark.
you can find it in the dark. But the other thing is, obviously it's an acrylic, but I was gonna. The pattern is for an alien headband, which is kind of hilarious. But I wanted to say, okay, 70% acrylic, 30% polyester. I don't know how that happens. It seems like it's all fake stuff to me, but it's improved so much since 1973. The fuzzy quality, I'm going to see if this will actually focus. Well, you can kind of see the halo on that.
You can kind of see the halo, yeah.
The fuzzy factor is really, really lovely, and it's very nice to work with. I have no complaints about this particular yarn.
AT saw the picture of the Death Star pillow. OMG.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Trying to get the cameras to focus. I've been reading all about the cameras lately because I've been so annoyed, but
a lot of podcasters have this one really great, it's either a Canon or a Nikon, but everybody's got it, and it's an amazing little camera.
Is it the Logitech? The one that hooks onto the top of the computer screen?
I don't think so. Let me.
All right.
Up a little
so you need something bulky, 12 to 15 stitches and 4 inches. Oh, this is not going to do that for you.
Probably not.
No, it's a 4. It's a medium weight.
Well, hold on. The yarn that I knit the squids out of is actually not horrid, which I was kind of surprised about, and it's 100% acrylic. Let me look it up for you, AT.
This one says it's 18 stitches to 4 inches on a 5mm needle. You could probably go up one size and get 15.
Potentially.
If you can find it. Oh, that's the weight of what you had used. Oh, and it was heavy. Okay, I see. I see. I thought that's what the pattern was calling for.
Oh, the yarn I use for the little squids is Baby Bee Sweet Delights Prints in the colorway Sprinkles, and it's 100% acrylic. And it's 60/40 acrylic nylon. 1,000 pardons. And it wasn't horrible. It's actually quite nice. I liked it a lot. And the kiddos have beaten the ink out of their squids, and they're holding up pretty good.
And AT said she likes working with baby alpaca, but can't imagine what a human baby would do to it. There is that. Although, I don't know, alpaca... It depends. If it's Wakaya alpaca, the staple length is really long. It wouldn't pill. But if it's... What's the difference? No, it's Wakaya and... Now I can't remember. One has a really long staple length and one doesn't. And I got the blanket from one with a really long staple length It's like silk. And then everybody else had the other kind, and now I can't remember what the two kinds are. But instead of remembering that, I'm going to show you a pattern that I designed years back in Virginia ago, and I realized I've never released it. Oops, I have to do that. And this is it's a little squid. It's a tiny little squid.
Oh,
It's like 3, maybe 4 inches tall.
weren't you still trying to get in touch with the original creator of the character it's
Of the
based
character that it's based on, and
on?
he shows no interest in anything about this. So I forgot about releasing it. And then I really realized my sister's nickname, Sydney, was Squidney. And you can see, like in this picture, there is a bend in the squid's leg because it's a squid knee. So yeah, I think that's going to go out to all the premium people on Patreon and on the mailing list for being patient with me while I travel and have all sorts of crazy stuff happening with the schedule, and people get sick and can't record and blah. Oh, and Brave New World 1984 True Believer. I have recorded the 0.0 podcast. I'm getting the feed up, and I figured out how it can be distributed. I just have to do the final steps, but that is absolutely on its way, and it will be a just the notes podcast. So obviously I can't get the audio. We can't afford the audio to 1984 or Brave New World, and there is no audio of True Believer. And we're actually working on trying to make a deal with the publisher to see if I can record that for them. But in the meantime, we'll do just the notes.
I think we should get Andrew to read it.
He would be perfect. But
busy,
they have to say yes. First, they have to say yes to us.
We should send them knit socks.
Right. Oh, that's a good idea.
That camera that I was talking about.
So just the notes is because there was we did The Great Gatsby on the premium feed ages ago. And at the same time, I was doing a parallel podcast called Just the Books. All the none of the craft, just the books.
Long live.
Yeah, and so it was just the audiobook notes, the chapter audio, and then the outro notes. And then when we did The Great Gatsby, it was just the audio notes into, and then you'd have to go listen to the chapter yourself or read it yourself, and then the audio notes for after each chapter. So it's just the audio annotations and not the chapter audio itself. So for each chapter, there'll be like chapter 1 of 1984 would be 1984 file 1A, and that would be before the chapter, and then 1B would be what you'd listen to after reading or listening to the chapter on your own, because there's nothing else I can do about it. But the books are too important. And oh my gosh, did I find the best thing in the world? If you Google, I have to remember, Aldous Huxley plus CBS plus, maybe it's CBS Radio Workshop, and it's either 1952 or 1956. Aldous Huxley narrates a 2-part truncated version of Brave New World.
Really?
Yeah. And it's online in several different places. I had to putter around here doing all sorts of crazy stuff over the weekend. I just let the thing run. I stumbled on a CBS Radio Workshop page that just played one episode after another. Ray Bradbury introduced 2 stories that he wrote for them that were awesome and heartbreaking and wonderful, like Ray Bradbury is. And they're just sitting out there. They're just free online. I don't know if CBS knows, but I'm not telling them. So yes, I will find a link for that to help Colette. Colette has been the one finding all the links for our episodes. Everything. And I'm putting CBS radio. And the other thing that struck me was, wow, if people just people were listening to CBS Radio Workshop in the 50s. They were mad educated, yo, because there was some stuff in there that was, I thought, the complexity of which was really rather impressive. And they had Vincent Price narrating a modern Cinderella where the girls are going off to the ball, and Cinderella's like, I don't understand why you guys want to go to this ball. Why? Or that was the mother. I don't understand why you want to go to this ball, Cinderella. It's not like anybody there's going to talk to you. And Cinderella's like, you going to give me lip? Is that what it is? You giving me lip? Because I can give it back to you as good as I can take it, man.
Did you not wet your pants listening to it?
I was doing dishes at that point, and I started to scream, laugh, and Aiden came running in from outside. We put a trampoline together, our landlord's old trampoline together on the weekend. He bounced off the trampoline and came in and went, what? Like, oh, no, it's just Cinderella. Mom.
If she was raised in Boston.
I don't understand why. And I can't stand him. We watched Singing in the Rain the other night.
Nice.
Which
we watched
my friend's favorite.
We watched Spirited Away, and then we piggybacked that with some Princess Mononoke. I've been on a Ghibli kick here lately.
That's good stuff. Mononoke's good. All right.
Link is to the Huxley thing.
I just saw that. Thank you. I'm going to turn it into an actual link. And then
Link-a-doodle.
I have some other stuff to show y'all. All y'all.
Oh boy.
Yeah, good stuff too.
Oh, speaking of other stuff to show, did you ever find that vest knitting yet?
Aha. Why? Yes, I did. And
nicely done.
I ripped all of it out, and I'm back on like row 5, and I'm gonna have to like the wind and crazy things. And I figured out one of the reasons why it just never looked right. And she was using the recommended needle size, but not the recommended yarn size. And so the stitches were looking loose and wonky and weird, and no wonder I couldn't match her stitches. It didn't matter how tight or how loose you knit, it just was never going to be right. And so I sat here and I thought, okay, do I double it? Well, I can't, because she bought the yarn years ago and I've only got enough to use one strand. So then do I double it up with something that I own? Well, I don't know if that's going to look the way that she wants it to, because it'll be kind of marbled then. And so I thought, So I went down 3 needle sizes.
Holy Toledo.
And I'm on gauge now. I'm within a half a stitch of on gauge, which it's a vest. It's not tailored. But
what do they call it? Half stitch of forgiveness?
Yeah, it's at least that much I'm going to allow for. But the big news, and I hope I'm not late to the party on this, because if I am, y'all have fallen down on the ball with telling me about stuff. But I found this website. This is called stitchfiddle.com. It is free.
Oh.
It allows you to create stitches where you can say what you want the stitch to be called. You can pick color. And then you can choose your symbol. Basic stitches, knit increases, yarn over increases, decreases, cables from 2 to 8 stitches.
Nice.
Crochet stitches from the Craft Yarn Council. And this is what it looks like when you get the stitches populate.
Oh.
Maybe I can get a different color. Oh, no, I have to go here. Let's see if that makes it easier to see. Oops. I went away. All right, now you should be able to see. So there's the crochet stitches. Lovely.
Excellent.
Miscellaneous. They've got a whole mess load of those.
Oh.
And brioche, just in case.
I haven't doubled in that yet.
And from within the application, and it's not the easiest one to get used to, but once you are used to it, it's quite good. If you right-click on it, you can colorize things. You can add columns, you can delete columns, you can add rows, you can delete rows. It lets you draw lines, and it lets you, by hovering over them, erase the lines.
Oh,
You
so much
can
better.
select, and then as soon as you let go, it allows you to copy. If you pay, you can then mirror stuff, which I did not pay for, which is why on this pattern, I'm having to rebuild the right side of the vest.
This is basically Excel for knitters.
It is Excel for knitters, but it also does, it works the way you want it to with the cables, which was a factor in this, that when you click, it just automatically goes there. And if you get your knit stitch, it disappears all of it. So it's one click and you've erased the potential problem. And this is basically the entire vest pattern. And I realized why she had gotten so confused about the pattern and asked me to finish it for her in the first place. It was two reasons. One, there have been several revisions to this pattern since she purchased it. And the designer, I have to give her mad props, yo. On the bottom of the pattern, way down at the copyright section, it says version number, and this was 2.8.12. And I wrote to her because I went to her website and she's on version 5.2.16.
Oh, yikes.
And I went and I took a picture of myself holding it. I said, can I please get the newest version? Because I don't have a receipt or anything, and I didn't get it on Ravelry. And she emailed back and said, absolutely, here's a download, here's a Ravelry link. All you have to do is put in this code and it's yours. And I downloaded it and started using the PDF to build this pattern. I went, oh, I'm really glad I did that, because I would have messed up several places.
What was that website again you used to populate that chart?
So the chart is called stitchfiddle.com. So stitch and fiddle, all one word, stitchfiddle.com. And it pops up in various languages. I'm looking at the /en version since I don't speak anything except English. But for a visual person, I'm much happier with a chart once I've got it in my mind. In fact, I probably don't even need to print this out now that I've built it, because I've got it. But but wow, I needed
that.
Yeah. So that was one thing I wanted to show you guys that I was very excited about. But the second thing, because it's already 2:30, oh my God, is thing two. Aiden has been, his hearing has finally started to cause problems in school. The lack of hearing in his right ear. Well, we always knew that he was never going to have great hearing. And once he got the surgery and then got the surgery revision, we figured at that point, any hearing that he gets on that side is gravy. Because it was a solid wall of bone when he was born. He was never going to have great hearing either way. But it's now gotten to a point where it's actually causing trouble, and he's in middle school and he's not comfortable walking up to teachers in front of God and everybody and saying, I can't hear you from where you have me sitting. And it's in his IEP. He's supposed to be seated with his left ear facing. But depending on the classroom, you can't really
do that.
Face your ear where you'd be able to hear it best. Plus, sound bounces like crazy all over classrooms. So we're on waiting lists for hearing aids, which is fine. And that's great. And there are some amazing hearing aids for kids that have come out. But in the meantime, there are apps for the iPhone that allow you to connect to headphones and use the phone as a receiver, where you have the microphone of the iPhone out on the table at school, and you can hear better. Because they've figured out that at this point, the best way to help him isn't to amplify the weak ear, but
to damper the dominant ear.
To actually help the dominant ear to pick things up more clearly. Oh. Because it's the interference, it's the lack of specificity Uh,
Everything's going into one funnel instead of left into left and right into right.
right, and it's all one volume coming in. So
Goodness.
if he can, I keep wanting to say the word embolden, but if he can lift the volume of the kids at his table by having them speak into his phone, basically, then the rest of the crazy that's bouncing around the room doesn't dominate. So we found a couple of things to help him. Plus, he's been having a hard time getting to sleep at night. So he's been listening to Sleep with Silk podcast. And I found two things. This is the one he loved. And when they went shopping for suits and shoes and stuff for his bar mitzvah,
God, did you
Andrew
lose?
was holding it and he left it behind in the pile of clothes.
Ah!
So I just ordered and just received the second one, which is a Bluetooth headband. So there's the Bluetooth panel and the little charging doohickey is in there. And there's a slit in the side. And you can see maybe the wires
Yep.
inside because this is one speaker. And there is, you can just see the outline of it, another speaker on that side. So you put it on and turn it on, and he can listen to music as he goes to sleep without any wires.
Oh,
Or he can listen to kids in class with this on. But it's not wool, but it's heavy cotton jersey. It's very stretchy. It's comfortable. He said it doesn't itch at all. But then I found this, which is wired. So if Bluetooth kills your phone battery like it does mine, there's a wired version. And this one has the speakers embedded, just like the other one, but it also has a breathable mesh. And it's kind of like a swimsuit material.
that's
So it's
better
more
for
like
one
a
wear.
workout band or for someone like me who itches all the time, no matter what. This one comes from Cozy Phones, and it comes with a little bag, which is so cute and adorable. We just love little bags. But here's where your jaw is going to hit the ground. This is like the fat one is like $13 on Amazon.
Okay.
And the nice one with the bag is $17. I thought something technology-wise like this would have been way more.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, because I saw my brother-in-law got one, not either of those. There's, I don't know, 4 or 5 different versions of these. He got a different one for Christmas, and I said, "Oh, that's genius. Oh my gosh, where has this been all my life?" And I had assumed it was, 30 or $40. No, nope. So
Dear
I was
Amazon.
very excited, especially for how many people say that they have to go to sleep listening to stuff. There's the comfy band, and then there's if you really only sleep on one side or on your back, this won't get in the way. If you roll over side to side, the Bluetooth one is going to get in the way because it's
An actual
it's
box.
it's a fairly thick. It's maybe the box itself is probably 1/2 an inch, and then with the fabric on both sides, it's close to 3/4 of an inch.
And then you roll it over and smash
Aiden
it
has
into your
not,
ear.
and Aiden has not had a problem with it. So, and when he wakes up in the morning, I go in to get him up early, and he's still got it on. Not that it's still playing, but he's still got the headband on, and sometimes he even pulls it down over his eyes as an eye shade. So
Adorable.
goofball. He's a goof, and he just texted me. He's like, "Can you come and get me in town if I go hang out with Autumn and do math homework with her?" He knew that if he threw in the homework thing,
Sucker.
I'd have to say yes.
How the bat mitzvah preparations coming?
The bar mitzvah, it's going. It's finally going. I think we're in a good place. I'm going to have more information on that next week. We're going to be ordering the last bit of table fun. Ooh, and I do have one other thing to show you that Andrew got. This is Love Pop is the name of the company. And he got this for Valentine's Day, and it got here late. But it's laser cut art. So that's a laser cut Eiffel Tower. And then this is what happens when you open the card.
Aww.
Isn't that beautiful? They did such a great job with it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all laser. I mean, it's insanely lasered. I hope that focuses.
You can see it on the bottom. Wow.
Yeah.
That's bananas.
Right?
Ooh.
Oh, actually, yeah, now you can see the houses.
Ta-da.
So.
Wow. Oh,
They're
he's
pretty,
good.
I don't know how to display it, but I'll figure something out. And now I get to go pick up kids. Yay! Everyone should have so much fun.
Again.
Yep. So next week I will have actual information about the bar mitzvah decorations, and he wants the unicorns and rainbows, and Tara was helping me find stuff, and Oriental Trading Company, my best friend.
My sister did aliens one year for Christmas, and my uncle got her like 20 pounds of stuff.
We did Cthulhu stuff for Christmas last year. Baby's first Cthulhu. We found baby's first Cthulhu ornament and gave that to my little Wesley, my little man, who's almost walking already. He's not even 8 months.
Shut up.
Make
it stop. Make them little.
I know.
With the growing. And the,
Next time I will bring pictures of him. You will die. You will die. Die. He is to die for, is what I'm saying. The kid. I'm biased. I know, but he is to die for. The The recreation therapists at your hospital order tons of stuff from Oriental Trading. I am not surprised. Their prices are excellent.
So much
shipping
stuff.
is decent, and they have really cute stuff.
Then, like, I was looking at unicorns and rainbow theme party ideas, and like, all of these are for like 5-year-old little girls. Granted, he is excited like a 5-year-old little girl. I don't think that's the vibe we're going for.
Details.
It is really.
Details. All right, I'm gonna go pick up a kid before he
blows your phone up.
Or refuses to do any math homework. So
nice.
That would be the bad version.
True.
Oh, tra-la-la. All right. Well, have a good day, you guys. Don't forget Craft Literati at facebook.com if you are one of our crafty chat viewers. I'm going to learn how to speak English very soon. And have a great week. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.